Oh no, Home is going to talk about update 1.9 again. That's right, I am. One, because I know many of you are not playing it, and two, there's actually some stuff in here that I did not expect, both good and bad. But first, a small announcement. I have YouTube memberships now. If you want to support the channel, the primary selling point is that you get a badge on your comments, so that's pretty cool, and the badges change over time. I will keep trying to make that a worthwhile experience, but it's also a no hassle option for anyone that likes the content here. Desync, let's talk about it. I'm going to be honest here, I did not expect to notice any changes with this update. I knew Crytek was working on servers and whatever, but desync has been a plague on the game, and yet, with this update, I don't want to say it's fixed entirely. You can still get in some heavy desync patches, but the improvement is noticeable to me. There have been significantly less instances of being yanked around corners or downstairs or off of some piece of wood. The movement correction is much more subtle, where most scenarios that you would expect to hit a huge pull of desync are now much more gentle. Instead of being jerked around, you just kind of slide off of objects, and that is much easier to compensate for and respond to. Again, it isn't perfect, but there is room for a little excitement here if you haven't had a chance to test out the update. I'm curious to know what you guys think, and I can't wait for you to get your hands on it. Another huge fix is this right here. Hive swarms now correctly navigate through the world when homing in on players. For the longest time, I thought I was crazy in thinking that the hive swarms used to track better, but yeah, turns out they were broken. I stopped working on a hive bomb video because it wasn't working the same, and now I think that I might give that a revisit. But what that means for you is two things. Be cautious when fighting around hives. Again, the bees will find you, and also hive bombs are a good $40 spend, so you can bring that in your loadout again. Another great thing about this update is the weapon changes. The Centennial got a 20% fire rate increase, and the Terminus got a 5% boost and a faster reload. These changes are exactly what these guns needed, and perhaps I should revisit the guides I made for those videos. Maybe a combined video, because the conclusions about them are pretty much the same. But I don't know, tell me what you guys think. Also, the change to poison ammo is interesting, and I think it's something that Hunt needs. I don't want to say poison is a must-pick ammo type, it's really not, but a full poison loadout is now completely viable. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the packs get poison ammo and maybe a carbine variant, so that matches the Nagant compact pistol. The Centennial with poison ammo, in addition to hive bombs working as intended, has been a lot of fun to use. The unique thing about poison is that you can use it to speed up or slow down a gunfight, which I will talk about in the future. But for this review, poison changes, good. And for those worried about the Sparks poison ammo, that is probably justified. Crytek might want to look at that one. Now on to the map changes, and although I haven't had to fight in any of the specific locations that saw map changes, I can say with my little tours around each of the maps, it seems like these all panned out. I especially like the new tunnel under livestock because that hole sucked to fight around, and I ran through it the other day and it was a much cleaner experience. I also haven't had a fight at King Snake Mine, at least close to the building, but I did go check the mine out, and I like the change, but I will admit the mine is smaller than I expected it to be. With how much it was talked about in the run-up to the update, I think there is some sort of lore element we will see come from this. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool new entrance into the compound, and it should break the stalemates of those fights between the window and the road on that west side, but the mine is still a curiosity to me. So I'm interested to see where that goes. Another interesting change was the end of match details saw some improvements. These symbols can kind of paint the picture of what exactly happened in a gunfight, especially if it's a long one or really early in a match. But for me, the symbols look a little too similar and should probably be adjusted, or at least put some sort of legend at the bottom so you can kind of see things easier. The downed player icon and the icon that you got put down, it's just kind of confusing at the moment, at least at a glance. The hover does improve things, and I like that there's a timestamp, but I also wish that it was reversed, where the timestamp told you how much time was left on the clock, the same way you see it when you pull up the map. I feel like that would help people visualize what happened when, rather than trying to think, okay, we were 10 minutes into the match. It's just, I don't know, it's just like going two opposite directions in my mind. I could be alone here. But those are the big changes, and for most of them, I would say much appreciated, really great. But let's talk about some smaller ones that I didn't really expect to enjoy so much. You can clear new item notifications in the menu with a click of a button. That is fantastic. I hate seeing those plus marks. Ladders are now clearly marked which side is climbable. Also great. I usually approach from the wrong side, which we'll just leave that there. Key bindings are showing their true keys in the quick access menu. Also great. I forget keys. The audio changes where interior shots sound different have made fights more readable, which is awesome. You know a little bit more about what's happening when you walk up to a compound. They're inside. That's a cool feature.
It is. I like how they did that.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
And so those are just some changes that I just didn't expect to enjoy and have thoroughly enjoyed. So much appreciated. And now let's talk about the controversial topic, I think. Let's talk about the black market. I think I misunderstood how this was supposed to work. I thought there were 3 bundles on offer from 3 vendors, and you could pick any item you want to purchase and get that item at a discount. And if you didn't like one of the individual items in the list, you could select that unliked item and re-roll it. Yeah, that is not how it works. Instead, there are 3 bundles with 3 vendors. You are automatically selected an item in a bundle, and you can purchase that item to go to the next one, or pay 25 blood bonds to re-roll from the selected item, also available in the bundle. So you can spend blood bonds to progress through the bundle or re-roll to try to get the skin you want that is elsewhere in there. And that RNG aspect is what worries me. I mean, right now it's just legendary skins that are already available. So you're really only like re-rolling for a 20% discount on an item you want, I guess. So do you really care that much if the black market stiffs you? I also know we will talk about monetization soon, so we can discuss this more, but I feel like this randomized aspect is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, which is unfortunate for a quality of life update. And I'm really hopeful that the plan is to not put exclusive legendary items behind the black market system, because it does feel like the direction that things are headed. I haven't heard anything, I haven't seen anything, but I'm just curious, because otherwise what is the incentive to use the black market? I'm not sure. I don't know. It's something I've been thinking about with this update, is like, where's the black market going? So that is my review for update 1.9 for Hunt Showdown. I would say it's like 95% positive. It's an update that feels good for the long-term health of the game, but there's that 5% that I'm just going to watch. Interested, but curious. So, what do you think about the update? Have you played it? Are there any changes you're excited for? I know console players kind of have to wait a while to test these things out. Let me know, because we have talked about this one a lot, so I'm curious how your opinions have changed. Also, YouTube memberships, become a homie. That is that is actually what they're called, because I am nothing short of creative. Until the next one, goodbye.